Looks like a good spot for a cup of coffee. Forgot my stirring stick. You know, I got knife safety on my mind today. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the mental side of knife safety. Let's check our water. Oh yeah, we got a good boil. Just doing the instant today, nothing fancy. Oh, I do like a cup of coffee when I'm out here. Really livens up my spirits. It's my friend. I want to talk a little bit about experience today. Talk a little bit about knife safety. I want to talk about the mental side of knife safety. Okay? How we use our brain when we're using our knives. Been experimenting looking for a knife to do what these knives do out in the woods. I really enjoy cooking. It's stress relieving for me. I use a big knife like this at home in my kitchen, or like this. It's my smaller one. Those are my two knives I mainly use at home in my kitchen. It's a little bit much to bring out on the trail with you. So this is my latest experiment that I've been playing with. It's a buck 673. It's got a nice sturdy blade. The handle design on it allows you to grab it a number of different ways. So far it's worked out pretty well for me at camp. But back to safely using it, because I cut myself twice in one day cooking with this knife. There's plenty of videos out there for you to go and watch that'll tell you about technique. What about our minds? When we're complacent, we get distracted, or we're rushing, we put ourselves in the potential for injury. I experienced all three of those things that day. Again, I was new to using this knife. I was preparing some food, and I was doing a task that I've done a number of times at home, or even when I used to work in restaurants with knives like these. Never cut myself at home with a knife like this doing this task, using it the way I use these at home. In that complacency and in that confidence of what I'm doing, I didn't think about the fact that my equipment had changed. When my equipment changed, it didn't cut the same way that this knife cuts. As I was cutting through, it broke through suddenly instead of a nice smooth slice. And in that sudden breakthrough, I managed to get my pinky. I just tipped it. Just a little tip right there in the tip. A nice little slice in it. It's pretty painful. Luckily it wasn't too bad, and I was able to get the bleeding to stop. Get bandaged up, and get back to cooking. I'm moving along, working on my dish, putting it together. I'm at an event for a big group of people. We're doing a potluck. Now, I had people curious about what I was cooking, because I'm always the guy that's dragging real food to camp and building a fire or something and cooking, and I don't do dehydrated a whole lot unless I'm backpacking. Then I'll go to dehydrated food sometimes. But I like it as a camp activity, so people are always coming to see what in the world I'm doing. This, of course, leads to distraction. Not paying good attention to what I'm doing. Now, when that happens, you've got a responsibility to yourself. You either nicely ask people to let you focus for a minute while you're doing something tedious. Because sometimes the reality is, as much as we say, cut away from yourself to keep yourself safe. Never cut towards, always away. Well, sometimes when we're doing small, tedious tasks, your fingers are right there. They get in the blade. They're in the path of the blade, and it's nothing you can do about it. Well, in those moments, you gotta use your mind. Give me just a minute. Let me finish cutting this, and I'll talk to you, okay? I gotta think about this. I gotta concentrate. Just nicely say something to the people. You can also remove yourself. If you need to remove yourself from the people and go do what you need to do, remove yourself. Whatever you need to do to be able to keep focused, especially while you're doing a task that's close to your fingers. And lastly, we've got rushing. I've been working hard for probably 2 hours on this dish, putting it together. From roasting things on the grill to putting things together and all the prep work. It was a lot of work. I was enjoying it. It was a lot of work. It was time consuming. And it finally came time for us to call together for lunch. I'd built my dish. The last thing I was doing was slicing limes for people to squeeze on the salad I had made. So again, here I am with my small knife. I've got a little lime, and I'm down there cutting away on it. I get it split, I'm cutting wedges on it. I got to feeling the pressure as people were taking their final dishes in, and people were going to go make plates. Now that was a long line of people. There was 100 people at this event. They could have waited 5 minutes. or the first couple people that might have missed it, but in 5 minutes into the line, my dishes would have hit the table had I just taken my time. But I didn't. I felt the pressure to get my dish onto that table. So I started to apply more pressure than I should have with my knife to try to rush it through the task. So I started pressing down and not just letting the blade do the work. As I was pressing down, having already cut a lime and a half, everything was wet. My knife was wet, my hands were wet, my cutting board was wet. The lime slipped under the pressure, and when it did, it caused me to slice across my finger. Now when you cut across your skin like this, your blood vessels are like little blades of grass coming up. So you cut all the tops of those blood vessels off. It's like cutting your grass. That's a hard bleed to stop. I put ice on it and applied pressure to it all afternoon and never got it stopped. I finally had to go to the pharmacy on the way home and get something to help clot it. The point is, every bit of that was avoidable. Okay? I got complacent. I didn't respect the fact that I was using a new tool. I was distracted by people talking to me. I got pressured in my mind to be in a hurry and try to finish. It would have taken an extra 2 minutes to just let the knife do its work. So y'all stay safe out there, okay? And remember, when you're using these tools that can hurt you, any tool that can hurt you, mental side of safety also, not just how you use it. Don't rush. Don't get complacent about your task. Don't get distracted. Look, there's a squirrel. Alright, bear's heading back down the trail. Y'all have a good day.